Weekly Dama news here, hitting you 10 minutes later than what I had scheduled, because hey, things happen. The cat and Dubs is here, ready to rock and roll, bringing you what has been happening within the past week of Kendama. Mostly the things that have been popping off here on social media, the social network system. In Japanese, we call it SNS very commonly. You might hear me call it SNS many times instead of social or social media. But here we are, Weekly Dama news. The last one, sadly, got lost somehow by Instagram. We did the live. We had a great time, and then when I went to post it, it just flubbed out and it disappeared. So not sure where that went. Hopefully that won't happen again for this one. But if it does, hey, you better stick around for it, because this might be a very specific, a special live stream just for you if it doesn't go. Hopefully it continues so I can, turn it into a podcast and put it up on YouTube and all that jazz. Any case, here we are, Weekly Dama news. Let's get started. Just to let everyone know, I always do a Q&A at the end of these Weekly Dama news. So if you have a question about anything, I might be able to answer it to the best of my knowledge. So leave a little question in the question toolbox right down there, and I will get to it at the end of this session of this news broadcast. Where's my, I don't even know, where's my teleprompter? Don't have one. There wasn't actually too many things that happened within this week. Not that I noticed, but let me start off with something that there wasn't a post for. There was a few stories for before I forget it. And this first one is 24-hour stream happening over on Twitch. About who? There's probably a bunch happening right now. But Sweets Kendamas is doing a fundraiser for online Nako, N-A-K-O, however you want to say it. And it's going to be something you want to tune into. Not only to see the different things that they'll be torturing poor Master Jorgensen about, but to be able to support, give some funds, some donations for this whole event that's happening, because it's such a different thing. I bet, having a event online compared to in person, there's going to be a lot of differences. Not only I'm talking about like meeting people and high-fiving and slapping and stuff, but from a business standpoint, right? Having actual people come in, there could be more like sales that in turn help the company see that this event was worth it and profitable, or even, break even. So maybe in the past that wasn't the case. So having them kind of settle down a little bit, simmering down. Anybody remember that one? Simmer down. And do a Nako online will hopefully give them something. But they need still help. They still need help. I do that sometimes. Maybe you do too. Let me know in the comments. And so we got to go do that, help them out, support. So go over. Is my Wi-Fi? J Bugs. Who's what? Well, he's going to connect to Wi-Fi. I thought it was me. I've been having issues with my internet, so if it does cut out, maybe that's why I lost last week's episode. Any case, something to tune into. Should be pretty cool. I'm excited for that because I'm living in Japan, totally able to watch the midnight, the graveyard shift of the Sweets stream, where maybe some people will be like, it's a little difficult. You got work the next day, or you're all tired from work that you had that day. So watching the stream the whole time can be a little tiring. But also, now that I say that, in the past years, when I've had checked out the 24-hour streams, it's pretty meh. It's low energy. Everyone's getting tired, and then it just turns off into everyone, doing Ken games and getting hit in the face with eggs and stuff and eating too much spicy shit. And then it turns everyone just like, oh, it's so late. I'm so tired. Maybe someone's like leaves the room and you don't see them and they're sleeping. And then they just start playing video games. Anyway, over Nako. Yeah, connect to Wi-Fi for Nako. Make sure, yeah. But in any case, that's going to be a fun one. So definitely go check that out. That's happening, I believe, Saturday. Again, I don't see an official post of that on the Sweets Kendama's Instagram account, but it's happening. I think Matt has shared on his stories, maybe Cody Grizz as well, getting prepped for that. Another thing that's happening over on Twitch is the 365 Sling Shady is creating something new, a new kind of show for the kendertainment, for the kendama world, and it is Jeopardy. Very good idea. Jeopardy is long running show. Very easy to see how this could be transferred over to the kendama sphere, our world, and our just to have some knowledge, not only testing the knowledge of kendama players, but also to drop some knowledge for everyone who's watching, something that you could be like, oh, I did not know that piece of information. So that's going to be really cool. I believe it's happening on Sunday. So mark your calendars. If you have a Twitch account, make sure to go follow 365 Kendamas. If you don't have a Twitch account, make a Twitch account. Then there's been ideas that I've had. I was like, should I do Twitch in some ways? It seemed when I jumped on Twitch, it was because of Sweets doing it over there, and there's a lot of words and vocabulary, slang lingo that he's talking about, and I'm like, I feel like an old man in a little middle school trying to pick up the jazz that they're throwing out. But it seems pretty cool, pretty interesting, especially like early days a few years ago. But I think before pandemic or during pandemic, Sweets was handing the stream off to a lot of different people, right? Bjorn had a little section for a stint for maybe like a few weeks or maybe a month. Flowgrove had it for a while, and he was helping a lot of people, like learning tricks and stuff. So I was thinking maybe I should jump on the Twitch, but then I'm like, I don't know about that whole setup. I always see just Cody Grizz like sweating about it, and I remember when Josh was getting into it, he's like, man, this is not that easy. So it would be putting something else on my plate, but hey, maybe something to think about. Cats, what do you think, Dubs? The cat is the final say. Dubs. No, she's scratching her board. Okay, so those are the two things that I only saw on stories. I don't think there were posts for. So now it's up and ready. Roger, setup is easier than you think, saying for Twitch. I mean, we all have YouTube, so I can just go check it out and see how easy it is. I should go do that. Any case, keeping it Sweets Kendamas. Something that has, there's actually a few. That's the biggest stuff is Sweets Kendamas. In the past, if you've been following me for a while, I always talk about the big three in the kendama community. The big three being the companies who have been pushing the game and keeping everyone jazzed about kendama and keeping the motivation going, pushing each other to create more product and just new types of things, innovations and whatnot. Sweets Kendamas is one. Kendama USA and Crom Kendama. At the time of this recording here in September 27th, 2023, we see that two of the big three, Crom Kendama, Kendama USA, are still alive and breathing, but they have been kind of taking, recently, Crom, kind of taking a back seat, but not forgotten, still pushing it, still putting a lot of effort, and still in the game with a bunch of awesome staff and great sponsored players still going. But Sweets has definitely taken the helm of this whole ship of kendamas. There are awesome little brands that have been popping up, doing lots of different things, and even the smaller brands who have been growing and doing other things. Like Soul is definitely one that is been on the up and just waiting for like that true breakthrough, I feel, even though I can't even give a definition of what a breakthrough would be. Maybe it's just my personal perspective of it, but man, Lotus has been doing a lot. Maybe it's just because with the content that they've been making, Soul recently hitting 10,000 subscribers over on YouTube for their Soul channel. It's like, man, I don't even know, there's that many people playing kendama, watching kendama. Awesome to see. Awesome. But from that rant, going back to the story at hand, Sweets Kendamas releasing another product. A new one that is quenching the thirsts for all you fiends of lunars. So lunar has become the go-to trick, the trick that everyone wants to do when you first pick up a kendama. How does it lune? Is it sticky enough to lunar? And this has been almost like the one main reason why people will prefer one kendama over another, because they see it's loon honed. And it's really cool to see Sweets embracing that, because I saw that in the past, like they really have their one flagship product and everything was on that. Okay, they had their jumbos, the sumos, and the kaijus. So they got that ridiculous murder bowl, but now they have something to answer something that was not the sumo, but it can loon, and that's its main focus. Where the amped, I think a lot of people have seen that, with that taller spike, having the sarado sit higher on the sword, then yeah, it's not at the perfect spot how you feel a lunar should be landed, right? And I have that same thing. I've plenty of the kendamas I have can lunar, but naturally when I pull up to lunar, you might have the same thing happen where you feel like it should be here, but actually with this one, it's base cup heavy, so you really have to tilt it back. And when you have a kendama that either has a massive big cup or who has zero weight in the base cup because there's a massive booty hole there, then you can lunar and you feel like, yes, this is where it should be. Like, this is what makes it easier. And other companies I've seen have kind of taken the path of releasing various types of kendamas, each focusing on a specific thing. Here's the slinger one. Here's the lunar one. I guess you only got those two. And then going into like bigger like performer sizes. But so here we go. Sweets Kendama is finally saying, hey, here it is. The SKTS. The Skistis one. The first one. So we'll see what happens after this. Will it continue? I think a lot of people are hyped on this. A lot of people are excited because Sweets is just creating stuff back and forth. And I think everyone's just gobbling up the Sweets. The sweet tooths in the community are heavy. So go pick it up if you're interested. I like how they kept it very conservative, almost a throwback actually for the paint design on these to their ATAC that they had in the past. Solid single stripe, but that was a specific thing that you knew someone who had a Sweets, because that single stripe for tracking was a fat, thick, chunky boy. So that's really cool to see them doing that. But hey, you're not only dishing out your bucks for this new lunar focused. Oh, wait, what was the name of it again? I thought Sweets Kendamas. Okay, TS Team Shape. No. True Slayer one. Oh, has there ever been any kind of explanation on why it is the TS? Have I missed it? Let's see. Let's go into it. Brand new shape from Sweets, available now. Kind of very low-key kind of releases, I feel. Not so much hype, but I think it's going to come through once people get it in their hands. This chunky shape is nothing like our kendamas. There you go. Designed to slap lunars. The short one, there it is. The short one. TS, the short. Usually when you abbreviate stuff, you kind of get rid of the T, but the TS1, the short one. So there's probably not going to be other variants because you don't want the short 2. It's just the short 1. There you go. Cam Kids let me know. He talked about it on the stream, so he was in it. There you go. Everyone knows. The short one. 62 inch, or inch, that'd be huge. 62 millimeter Dama, which is big for people who don't really know what kind of tamas you're playing. It used to be 61. I believe it was 61. No, it used to be 60, 61 was on the brink. People have been pushing 61.5. I remember Sue doing that for a bit because a lot of people were going 62. 63. There's a few 63s out there. I believe Sleigh Dogs are 63s. I believe some Soul. I definitely know that Soul Kusa collab that they released that everyone was saying was too expensive or whatever. That was definitely a 63. Massive Damas. And yeah, they definitely are helpful because the bigger your kendamas are, the bigger the ratio, the area is for any kind of like balancing trick. Your cups, you're going to be catching it a lot easier. If anyone has a small kendama, you know that it's a lot harder to do tricks on. When you get bigger, it gets easier, not to take away the fact that it's heavy as shit and you could really destroy yourself with that heavy kendama, but it does make, a lot of like no hole birds and stuff make on like a kaiju or something super easy. So there you go. Bunch of different stuff. 24-inch millimeter bevel, triple cushion clear, all beach. Hey, and if you didn't think you've spent enough time checking out the Sweets Kendama sites, yay, maybe you want to go out for a walk, check out your local Target. And I think a lot of people are going to do that right now because Sweets Kendama is back in Target. Amazing to see. It's funny that Sweets is not using the Target kendama in his hand right now. I just noticed that. He has the short one. But very cool to see them back in Target releasing special exclusive kendamas only for Target. These designs that you can only find there. They switched it up. Different type of, I think it's just a normal sticky clear. No option of cushion. It looks like it was, a beach? Did they have a solid picture of what they had? Come on, go back to it. $20. You wait, 1 month, and they're probably going to go down to like the $14, $15 bin. You wait maybe until the Christmas season, and then it might be even cheaper. But it seems like a lot of people are going out and picking up the Sweets. What is it called again? When blanked. Target. Picking up a Target Dama. Which is interesting. Hear me out on this one. So, I feel like Sweets getting into Target was big because it gives the opportunity for someone who has possibly seen kendama on their feed, or maybe a friend was like, oh, I play kendama, and they didn't want to go too hard or deep into it, or maybe they're, still in the closet about, hey, I want to play with that ball. And they look at the different stuff that they see at Target when they go shopping at Target, and they can see a kendama and they'll be like, oh, there's one right there. Quality. Maybe I've heard the word Sweets before, this company. $20, that's not bad. Let me pick it up, right? So now with everyone who are avid fans of kendama, deep into the community, have more or enough kendamas that I have, more than enough. We all have more than enough. Going out, picking up the Target kendamas, enough so that there's no more on the shelves. Awesome, because maybe Target's like, oh, they're rolling out. But there's a little sense of me that feels like, are we taking away the chance for someone else to pick up a kendama who wasn't a kendama head like all of us are, a big nerd like we are? Someone who is maybe on the brink of buying, but now maybe they heard a friend who was like all about kendama and is like, can I buy a kendama, but I don't want to buy a kendama. And your friend's like, just go to Target. Look for Sweets kendamas at Target. You can find one. If you're interested, you can pick it up. It's like $20. Okay. And then they could go and they could pick one up for themselves. But if they're all gone, then maybe they will not be able to have that chance to play kendama or get a quality kendama in a good place for a really, really good price. Roger hitting it on the head. Yeah, buy it and then give it away to somebody. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are buying it for their collection, and I'm sure people want to buy it just to have to play more Sweets, to have another kendama. They're like, sweet, no pun, Great. Another kendama. I want to play another kendama. I love session new kendamas, which we all do. But maybe some people are like, I'm going to get that for my friend who I know doesn't want to put in the work to go to a website and put in their card information to buy a kendama. I'm going to get one for them. Here it is. Really easy. Oh, T-Daddy Lynch hitting it hard in the chat. He says, yeah, I found one left. One. There was one at the Target, but he left it there for someone else. Oh, tear. Lindsay says my Target in Iowa doesn't have any. So you got to let him know. Where's the manager? Branch manager, come here right now. What are you looking for? I'm looking for a toy. Oh, for your child? No, for me. Sweets kendamas. Get them stocked. They're in other places around the country. I want one here. And then hopefully you can influence them to pick up some kendamas from Sweets. Target Damas. All right. Only 4 more articles that I found that really picked up my eyes for this one. Hey, again, Q&A happening at the end of this live stream, so hit it right in the chat, or not in the chat, in the question tool at the bottom. Next one. Another product. I think most of them are products. Kendama USA Rhino Clear. Kendama USA and Kendama Israel, ISR, has collaborated, come together, and released a kendama. Something that a lot of people have been, praising all of the awesome things that Ryan Jubaka is creating over in the craft shop for Kendama USA. Crafts being very high-end, all like not fully hand-turned, but hand-picked. There's a lot of attention to detail on what happens to the kendamas as it's being made. It's not just like chucked on a lathe and set through like they do over in Hyundai, where sometimes you get a good piece of wood, sometimes you don't. So there's not much quality control. Well, there's a certain amount of it. But here you go, Luna Craft coming out from Kendama USA, pairing it up with a well-known, well-loved to talk about paint in the community that a lot of people like, Rhino Clear from Kendama Israel. And they've really like set themselves into this design pattern that they've created of the cityscape. Something that's really interesting, really cool, and depending on maybe the event, where it's happening, where the collab's happening, the cityscape will change. Similar art style for all of them, and here I'm guessing, it's got to be the area where Kendama USA's headquarters are. I see a tree, mountains, buildings. So it's a ash Luna Craft, bamboo Rhino Clear, or get this, hickory Luna Craft with a maple Dama. Cool that you got options for those people who like a hefty Ken, you go for the hickory. If you like a lighter Ken, you go for the ash. And it's paired up well, with the bamboo on that side. So really cool to see. Is it open right now? Made for maximum playability as, yes, okay, all kendamas. Everyone's pushing, striving for the best overall, can do everything kind of kendama, maximum playability. No one is going the opposite way of like, I made a most difficult kendama. This kendama is gonna piss you off because of how difficult it is. It's such a challenge, but you should get it. It's like one of those puzzles, one of those mind puzzles where it's like a bunch of knots that are made out of like links of metal, and you get it. Your uncle got it for you for Christmas, and you're like, this piece of like, I don't understand what's the fun, but people buy those. Those cost money. Those aren't free. That headache costs money. So interesting to see if anyone in the kendama world will come out with a kendama that is difficult to play, and what would happen to it. I have plenty of them in my collection, but they're like one of a kind. I don't know how many were made, and definitely not made by a major company in the scene. So talking about weird kendamas that are difficult to play, here's the next article that I found. Neko Ken. Neko in Japanese means cat. Ken, of course, kendama. Here's the Neko Ken. very reminiscent to the Snarkle Rocks, kendama or tamas that they've been releasing. All these different types of creatures, animals. Recently, there's the skull that's coming out in time for the pumpkin season. And this one actually, I guess, goes with the holidays as well. That's coming around the corner. A black cat Dama. No eyes, hole for spiking, 2 ears. That's it. There's also a white variant if you like white cats, if you're scared of the black ones. Interesting is that, the cat it looks, almost looks like a jack or an awl. But I don't know if there's any specific connection with them. But let's see, when was their first post? Their first post was just February of this year. Looks like they were at a toy fair in Japan in Tokyo Big Sight, which is like, I guess, Javits Center for people over in the East Coast of New York. You know, big place where they have different types of art events and stuff. But yeah, cats and kendamas, like that's all they got. They got a dude who's tries his best playing. It's like, I think it's kind of funny because doesn't look that easy. He definitely not advanced kendama player, very novice, doing a straight pull up, not using much of the knees. And I even think he's using the small cup. But I guess good on him. He got that third one. Neko Ken. Cat-shaped Neko Ken has been released. Please play loosely. That's what it says. Not just me. Please play loosely. You can interpret that however you want to. Last post was 19 hours ago. Them talking about the Neko Kens. Looks like they're going to have coming out to a store. Okay, they're doing a little sale of the Neko Cats. Would you be interested in a Neko Cat? I feel like it's expensive too. I forgot. I think they showed a price somewhere. I think it was like $90. I mean, Q-Sen, 9,000 yen, I believe. Hold on. I thought I saw it somewhere. I'm just going through the posts. I thought they had somewhere a price listed, or maybe it's just an idea for now. So there's just a bunch of prototypes. I mean, they got a bunch. You don't see any, like maybe have like a waiting list, GoFundMe to campaign to kick it off. But I'm not sure how far you're going to get just creating cat heads, you know? But hey, so what we do here on the news, just talk about cats. So, right? Because my cat's here. All right, well, two more pieces. Talking about different types of things that sometimes go unseen in the kendama community. This is one that I haven't seen. Ohana kendama. Ohana means family. If you watch Lilo and Stitch. So it seems like, but these guys are not anywhere near Hawaii. Missouri, USA. Definitely mainland. These dudes have been just getting in there, creating different types of paints, different designs. Very interesting. Splatter pattern. I thought that was a pretty cool, like collage-ish style. You know, also looking at the tracking, there you go. Painted bevel. That's something that a lot of people love-hate relationship, or maybe it's just hate on ones. I don't know, but depending on who you are. But there's enough tracking around, so maybe you can guess where the hole is, at least in this situation where it's really dark. So, I mean, no one's asking, but my advice would be to like, maybe don't paint. Maybe don't paint the bevel. Here's a full stain one. But yeah, very different, cool stuff that you can go check out. Ohana Kendamas is their Instagram account. So if you're interested, it looks like they're selling stuff. They're putting stuff out there for you to check out. Missouri. I think, and it's like, is it a shop? A small niche kendama company. No, just a company. Did you know about Ohana? Nope, I didn't. Now we know. Check out Atlas Kendama. Atlas, I think, what was the last time I saw? I saw Atlas before. I've talked about them quickly. Have they been releasing something new? Oh, man. I go looking for Atlas Kendama. What pops up? Atlantic. Any OGs? Atlantic? Oh, man. No. We're talking about Atlas. This is one I did not know about. Cans. Atlas Kendama, there's a new one right now, live. See, this is the cool thing about the live weekly Dama news. You guys can share it with any kind of news that you saw that you thought was interesting, or maybe even correct me on some information. This is a community-based thing. Not just, I'm not the only stuck-up newscaster. Well, it looks like they're hand-turning stuff, right? AK, I see. You see A in the K. Okay, cool. Launched their own company, Atlas Kendama, July 21st, so pretty recently. Small batch hand-turned kendamas made in PNW. Gearing up for the first release. Come hang. There's the shape. I mean, it's really cool that a lot of people have been picking up woodworking and this new thing that could possibly traject into a career path of theirs to make this. If anyone knows, like, Make It With Miles, the dude on YouTube who's been creating a lot of woodcraft, recently did an awesome collab with 1000. I learned about him because he was hand-turning kendamas. He's a big into woodworking, and he was making a lot of crazy Spectraply kendamas, and he was called Fujichem, I believe was his brand that he created. Since then, he's stopped making kendamas and just making gnarly wooden stuff, so you should check him out. But yeah, a lot of people are getting into it, so you don't know what it can turn into. Gnarly update sold out. Thank you so much for the first release, Maple Titans. Gnarly handle or slip rip, call it slip rip. Right there, very edgy. Cut your fingers. When they're super edgy, you got to watch out because there's a chance for them to chip if you're doing taps and stuff, depending on where you're tapping. But hey, different shape, different silhouette of a kendama. And I think that's one thing a lot of people think about when they're trying to start something new, a new kendama company, a new shape. It's like, how do we make it look different, right? What kind of piece are we going to make that looks different, but still be like a normal plain kendama, but look different? It's tough to do. Definitely tough to do, especially with all these new kendama companies popping up. So, but good on them. Keep it, grind it, do it up. All right, in the last post, I believe. Yep, last post. Kendama world record. You guys see their post recently? They have official papers that you can get. If you are a record holder, you can go to their website and they'll give you a link. You hit them up, and like, oh man, yeah, or maybe they already hit you up. They'll give you a link to be able to purchase one of these. So only people who have a record that they are holding, you are actually now able to physically hold one of these records in your hand because they're putting out certificates. As well as they have kendamas. I think they got some pieces of merch. But yeah, they got They have a few kendamas released. Cool. Athens, kind of ideas. A world record kind of. I mean, I was thinking, what is it called? Oh man. Word. People are here. Totally forgot. I got some big stuff to do. I mean, got some housework getting done, and there's some people here to help me out with that housework, which are, yeah. So I got to get going. Awesome chatting. Weekly Dama news. We're able to fix the whole thing. I see there's 3 questions. Hold on to those questions. Bring them in for next week, or you can DM me so I don't forget. Please do that. Thanks for hanging out. Weekly Dama news. We'll see you for the next one. So abrupt, but hey, keep it clean.